You want good Italian food? If you pay, you go to good restaurants, you have it. Action!
So, Lorenzo, it's a good name. It's a good Italian name.
A very common, I
Very
guess.
common name.
Yes.
And whereabouts are you from, Lorenzo?
Near Rome. It's a small town near Rome, central Italy.
And you decided to move to London for what reason in particular?
Well, the first time I moved to England, it was 2015 because of my job. Feels like a long time ago.
That's like 9 years ago.
Yeah, it is 9 years ago.
Yes.
It was 9 years ago, exactly July 27, something like that.
Are you going to be doing anything for your 10-year London anniversary?
I'm gonna be 30 next year in March as well. So 2025 is gonna be an interesting year, I guess.
And are you planning to stay in London?
Let's see what the future holds.
Don't know yet.
Don't know yet. Nobody knows in London, I guess.
So you came from small town in Rome. What's the name of it?
Rieti is called. I always love to travel. And London is the perfect city for that.
Is it?
Yes,
Thank
because you have how many? 6 airports, isn't it?
Do we?
Yeah. Okay,
Only had 3.
Stansted, Gatwick, Luton, Heathrow, London City.
Oh, that doesn't count, does it? I've never been there.
counts.
It doesn't count because I've never been there myself.
Oh,
so.
well, okay. And so you can travel anywhere in Europe and outside Europe for not much money. And
Right.
So yeah, it's pretty good for that.
And you work in a casino
I
as
work in
a...
casino, as a croupier, which would be
Croupier.
a dealer, basically. Is a dealer, casino dealer. I didn't know what to do when I was 19 when I finished my high school. And then I started liking the job, and in general, if you do my job, most likely in England, you'll come to London.
Yes.
It's the busiest place in England.
There's not really much outside of London. There actually is. There is
There
actually a
are
lot outside of London.
Yeah, but London is a different thing.
What are the kind of major differences between where you grew up and London?
Where I grew up, even though it's just an hour from Rome, such a smaller place compared to London. You
Yeah.
know? That's the main thing. I'm more in nature, so this is a big city, it's completely different. But I like big cities as well. I guess it's just, you live kind of a double life, I guess, and that's very interesting because you live in London, you live in England, but as well, when I go back home, it feels like not a second has passed. You realize that 9 years is a long time, but when I go back home, I'm lucky I still, keep in touch with all my friends in Italy, and with the family, it's the same thing. It feels like it's just a normal day.
Do you still feel like... Well, I can't pronounce that. What's it called?
Rieti, it's called.
Rieti. I won't try and do it in
Try
Italian
and say it
accent.
again.
Rieti.
Yes, exactly.
Rieti.
Yes.
I don't know why I do this. This is just...
No, that's not.
Don't do it? Okay. Are you offended? Okay.
No, I'm not. It's not true that only Italian people speak with their talks moving.
I definitely gesticulate. I do.
Everybody does this and that. Watch some interviews. Not only Italians do that.
I have to hold on to my glass of whatever I'm drinking because I definitely will hit it if I don't hold it. Where do you live in London at the moment?
I live in Finsbury Park. That area has changed a lot as well. Basically, I'm a Arsenal supporter, I would say, because
Arsenal.
I used to like Chelsea when I was a kid, but now I live pretty close to the stadium, Arsenal Stadium.
Fair.
And now Arsenal is a good team, and I haven't been to the stadium this year, but I need to go.
I went for dinner actually right next to it. I went to a place that did like hand-pulled noodles. Really good.
What's called?
Jean, I want to say. It's like Xian, impression. And it's like really cheap, but also really fucking good food.
Maybe, I don't know. You need to recommend it to me.
Oh, I've got like plenty of recommendations.
Okay.
But yeah, no, I didn't realise how close. I think I got off at Holloway Road.
Okay.
It was literally just a 2-minute walk from there. And then round the corner it was the Arsenal Stadium. And I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not a bad area. You go Camden Town, close, King's Cross, and you can take... We have Piccadilly, Victoria Line, Overground, even though you hate it, right?
The Overground.
I mean,
Well...
it's not exactly in Finsbury Park, it's in Caledonia Road, but it's not that far. We also have the trains, train stay, because Finsbury Park has a train station. I've always lived in the same area, like northeast London. Only 1 year I was living in Stratford, but still northeast, I guess.
Stratford?
Yeah, because I was working there. When I moved from Milton Keynes...
Oh yes, you lived in Milton Keynes.
I was working my first casino was in Milton Keynes.
Yeah.
Then the same company is in Stratford,
Yeah.
so I moved to London and I was living in Stratford. For a year I was living there.
But you prefer Finsbury Park, I imagine.
You know what? I think Stratford is a strange area. Yes, because, okay, it's new now. I mean, they built so many new buildings after the Olympics. It can be very nice, it can be very dodgy sometimes.
No, I don't particularly like Stratford. Although tube-wise...
No, it's nice. I mean, like, there is the West Ham Stadium there. I was just there last month.
You seem like you're into football.
I like football. I mean, we're in England. You have to like football.
Not
Oh,
necessarily.
well, I guess if you're a man.
I have...
I mean,
let's not go down... Let's not go down that road.
well, I would say 80-90% of the men here like football.
Oh, God.
Even lots of women like football.
They do, yes. It's a good sport to play for a woman now, they say.
Yeah, it's becoming more and more popular.
Speaking of lad culture, as an Italian, what do you think of Brits?
In general,
Yeah.
I don't know, because I guess, okay, because I lived 1 year in the States when I was 16, I found many similarities with the States as well.
Between America and
Yeah.
England, or Italy and America?
American and England, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Like what?
Look at Brexit, for example. The fact that you're very independent, you really kind of love your country. Unfortunately, I would say in Italy, you don't really feel all this being very, how do you say, forgot the word.
Nationalistic?
No, not in a bad way, in a good way.
Oh,
like,
patriotic.
kind of patriotic, yeah. In Italy, sometimes we're a bit, like you see in America the way they do, for example, when they sing their national anthem, they're very proud and they do it on all the occasions, like no matter how important it is. In Italy, we should be more, because we live in a beautiful country. I don't live now anymore in Italy, but unfortunately it's better as a tourist sometimes than living there. You know what
In
I mean?
Italy?
Yeah, everybody who goes to Italy is like, Italy is amazing, Italy is beautiful. I'm like, of course. You're there as a tourist. The food is amazing. The weather is good. Living there can be sometimes a bit harsh, depending, job-wise or.
Are you saying that there's, based on what you've just said, there's seemingly more opportunity to make something of yourself in London?
I guess London is one of the best cities in the world.
You guess or you know?
That's like a tricky question. That's like you have to say that it is true. I think everybody knows that all the opportunities that are in London, even though it's changed a bit now, but there's endless opportunities here. You can be whoever you want, you can do whatever you want. I'm lucky I've traveled quite a lot, even though I want to travel more and more and more.
You've got the travel bug.
Yeah, and I guess when you start, you don't stop.
Yeah.
You know, people think, okay, you've traveled a lot already. And I'm like, yes, but the more you do, the more you want to do it. And you realize the world is so big. You need to travel more. I've been in many places, but there are so many to see. And London, I guess, is like one of those cities, maybe like similar to, New York, or I cannot think of many cities like this. Like
London?
Cosmopolitan or multicultural, and
Nice.
could be, London is for sure one of them. In Europe especially. It might be Paris, but I've been to Paris, it's different.
Yeah, I find Paris a bit prickly. You've got the Vatican where you've got fancy art.
You haven't been there, such a shame.
I have.
You've been there, okay, no, you've been to
It was
Rome.
very touristy, obviously, that when you got into
Okay,
the
yeah,
main
yeah.
bit
Yeah,
where
yeah.
the Michelangelo thing is,
Of
you
course.
don't have much time to actually see it. It's a bit underwhelming. Not the thing itself, but just, have you been in there?
I've been, yeah.
Okay.
It's very busy Rome. Best time to go, it might be actually maybe now, even in winter, because it's never too cold. But if you go during the summer, it's crazy hot.
Yeah,
It's
ridiculous. I went in August of
it's like now,
10 years ago.
Can even be 40 degrees nowadays, yeah.
Jesus
Like
Christ.
in summertime.
You're better off in London, really.
We are in October, it feels like so cold already.
Yeah. Weirdly not cold in my house. I don't really understand why that is.
Well, inside is alright.
Yeah,
That's
I
how
know.
it should be. You don't want cold inside, outside is alright.
But that's an issue with London housing. It's not
Yeah.
often well insulated.
Yeah, that's true as well.
Do you ever feel like, because your family and stuff and your friends are in Italy, that you feel a bit isolated in London sometimes?
No, well, I have lots of friends, and especially most of my friends here are people who are in my shoes, let's say. They live the same experience. They came here from Italy or from other places in Europe, and so we kind of understand each other.
You have like a
We are-
support system.
We are in the same situation, all of us. Some of them, they do my job. It's like having a second family, because it's not just friends, it's people who are living your experience, you know.
You end up finding people who are in the same boat as you.
Yeah, exactly.
I love London for the fact that you can find, less so now as we were saying before because of COVID, and people are kind of less likely to want to go out and do stuff. But yeah, that was the sort of main thing of living in London, meeting people from all over the world.
Yeah, that's cool. That's so cool.
And then finding basically family within a sort of chosen family, I guess.
Some of them, I don't work together with them anymore, but we're still friends, and it's good.
Yes.
We have common interests, like football, of course.
Football. What's your
other
favourite pub to
things.
go to watch the football?
There is a pub close to where I live. They're always showing games, especially Arsenal, obviously. I watched there some of the Euro Cup games and the World Cup games as well.
Is that the one that England almost won but didn't?
The Euros. Yes. for
Yes,
2
I
years,
remember
yeah.
that. That's
Well-
all I know. I just remember thinking I want
Well,
Spain to win.
this was this year and also 3 years ago when Italy won. Yes.
Well done, you.
Well-
I don't know why it's got anything to do with you, but there we go.
Well, I was at the stadium for the semi-final. I couldn't go to the final. I was working. That's where Italy-England was playing. Some of
Right.
my friends went.
Did you feel a bit...
Well, obviously I was for Italy.
Oh,
but
yeah, well.
this year, England-Spain, although I love Spain, I was for England. But unfortunately, unfortunately, Spain won.
I mean, they should have won. They were just
They
better.
were the better team.
What
But,
are you
you
doing
know-
talking about football?
I don't know.
God.
You know.
You keep bringing
more-
football up.
You know more than me, and I guess.
Do I?
Yes, you just said that.
How do you
were-
say football in Italian?
Calcio.
Calcio. How do you
Calcio
say...
is also this. This is a calcio.
Ouch!
Yeah, that's why it's called football.
Kicking.
Kicking, yeah.
Oh, that's why you
Yeah.
kicked me in the leg.
Yes.
I was like, what are you doing?
No, calcio is like when you do this. In England, foot and ball. In Italian,
Kickball.
it's like,
Kickball.
I would say, yeah.
I like learning languages, so maybe Italian will be my next one.
If you speak Spanish, you should definitely learn Italian.
All I know really is sinistra e destra.
Sinistra and destra. Usually people know the bad words and you know.
I know left and right.
Left and right. All right, that's great.
I was walking through Italy just going sinistra e destra.
That's very interesting.
I say it in a bit of a Spanish accent.
Yeah,
there.
you just said, hey, destra.
I know, I can't not do that. It's so funny.
I like Spain. I love Spanish as a language. And in Spain, I've been many places.
Latin America?
I've been to Mexico, the farthest down I've been. But I want to go because when I was in Mexico, I met people from Argentina. And
Argentinos,
I
mi
love them.
gente.
I really like them. They're really a lot of fun. And I'm still in touch with them, like on Instagram, Facebook. And I also now have some friends in Italy who they are half Italian, half Brazilian. And so
Love
I'm
the Brazilian accent.
definitely going to Brazil one day. Definitely.
I've been for 4 days because I lived in Argentina for a bit.
Oh, you lived in Argentina?
Really?
Yes, I
What
did.
about?
Oh God, the middle of nowhere. That's
Well,
how you
it's a
learn a
big country.
language. Even when I'd fucked up, made mistakes, you'd just have people going, "Pero hablas muy bien." Very.
I like the accent. I love the...
Gracias. Oh, my accent or their accent?
No, the way you did this now, yeah, sounds very...
Sos muy linda, Sam. I remember that so much. And thinking it sounds a bit of an Italian
Well, they speak
sing-songy.
differently than Spanish people. I mean,
They
have
do.
kind of slang, you know, they have their
They
own way
definitely
of
do.
speaking, yeah.
Spanish people, in a general sense, they're faster,
Yeah.
a bit more kind of matter-of-factly the way they speak, whereas
Yeah.
Italians,
Italian,
whereas
yeah.
Argentinians, first of all, they think they own pizza and gnocchi. They think that it's
Really?
theirs.
I haven't
Yes.
had this argument with them. I mean, it was a mixture. It was boys and girls, but guess what we were talking about?
Football.
Of course,
Oh,
because
kickball.
even the women love football in Argentina. Well, of course, they won the World Cup, so, you know.
Boca Juniors and that.
Was that?
Boca Juniors.
Oh, Boca Juniors.
As they
yeah,
say,
that's
Boca
from-
Juniors.
yeah.
They don't pronounce the J, they just go Juniors.
I mean, if Spanish
do.
people talk fast, they talk even faster. It's crazy. Like,
Do you think? I think they talk really like...
you know that Spanish is one of the 5 fastest languages on the world because of the syllabs and stuff, the way they
Oh, I
speak.
didn't know that.
The way people speak. Think about the Spanish language. They just speak really, really fast.
I've only really noticed that for Spain and like Puerto Rico, I think is another one there where they just like swallow their words. Pronunciation.
Yeah, they don't really pronounce some of the letters, even though like Italian, Spanish, this language is unlike English or, well, French is even worse.
French is even worse.
Yeah, like pronouncing the letters.
Marmonnet, mumbler. They don't open their mouths when they speak, really.
Yeah.
Yes. If there was someone in Italy, or just anyone, like anyone anywhere, really, who was thinking of coming to London and they were wondering whether it was a good idea to do so, what kind of advice would you give them?
Well, it's a good question.
Thank you.
I guess it's always a good idea to come to London, even if it's just for like a few months or a year, because you definitely learn something for sure. But then it depends what you want to do in life. And now, unfortunately, it's not possible anymore to come here just for 1 year, let's say. You need to have a job. You can't come here and find a job.
Are we talking about the EU?
Yeah, well, a lot of people used to come here even just for visiting friends, and then they were staying, even just doing any job to learn the language and leave London for a while. Now you can't, unless you come here and you already have a job. Not finding a job here, but already coming with a job. So people can come here only on holidays, but that's different. I think a city, you have to live it. That's why me, myself as well, when I travel, I always say, I've been there, but to experience a place, you need much more time. You need a longer time. Even though it's better to go than not to go. I always say it's better to spend 2 days somewhere than never been there. You know? I think actually the busiest airport in the world might be Heathrow.
So we're
Heathrow
not...
or Schiphol in Amsterdam.
I mean, Heathrow is pretty chock-a-block. I don't know if you've ever seen Love Actually.
don't remember when, but I've seen the movie you mean, yeah.
The film opens with Hugh Grant narrating and going, whenever I get gloomy with the state of the world, I think of the arrival gates at Heathrow Airport.
Yeah, I remember this now.
Not that many people have greeted me at the gates. I would love that, just to have someone there.
It's true. Go to airports is a interesting experience because you see people maybe who have just come, who are
Yes.
leaving.
Yes.
Very happy people, very sad people.
Yes.
You get all the mixed feelings. And speaking of Heathrow, I'll be there in 3 days.
Leaving so soon?
Yes.
After 9 years?
Now going to Finland for
Finland?
Lapland.
Lapland?
Up north to see, hopefully see the northern lights.
They're not always reliable, which is annoying.
You never know, but I'm gonna be there for like 5 days. So I hope to be lucky one day, you know, because I've been to Iceland and I was unlucky with the northern lights. That was last year.
Oh, you went last year as well?
Iceland is one of the best places to see the northern lights.
The only Iceland I've ever been to is the one on the high street where you get like frozen.
Yeah, I've been there as well. Quite not the
Not
same
the same
Not the
thing,
same.
but
I would
still-
recommend going to Iceland.
Equal merit in terms of the opportunity of getting the things you want.
You can say I've been to Iceland.
I can say I've been to Iceland.
You can say that and people won't know, you know?
Bought some frozen food.
Yeah, exactly.
This has been Sam and
Lorenzo,
who?
who's from Italy and just came here to London 9 years ago.
And how do you find life in general?
Life in general is good. In general.
In general? I feel like that's a very British thing to say, like, good.
It's good in general.
It's good.
What does it mean? I don't know. It's good in
It's good.
general.
It's
Like,
good.
is it better good? It's good, but in general, which means I don't know.
It's sometimes bad.
Sometimes it cannot be always
But that's
good.
got
What's
nothing to
the
do with
fun?
London. That's a you problem, I think. So there we go.
But I'm
I
growing
don't.
my hair again, so I don't know.
Growing it like long.
I had it during lockdown. I'll show you some picture after.
Okay.
It was like here.
He's going to show me some pictures now. So it's been lovely, and thank you for watching. And
That sounds a bit strange. I'm gonna show you some picture. My hair. You're crazy.
you crazy.